Welcome. Today we're thinking about digital strategy. I love coffee, discovering different beans and blends. There is nothing better than the aroma of a freshly prepared flat white for me. Me and my wife love searching out different coffee shops when we go to different and new places. Every coffee shop has the same aim, but it might have different seating, lighting, decor, signs, music, food and vibes. To a greater or lesser degree, they might be different, but they're all trying to encourage us to spend money and drink more coffee. Churches are not so different. At its core, a church is a community of people who gather to worship, dwell in the presence of God, receive teaching, transform the communities they are based in, and maybe even get a great cup of coffee. The seating, the lighting, the decor, the signs, the music, the food, the vibes might be different, but the key difference between a church and a coffee shop is we are not in competition with the churches around us. We need to remind ourselves of that. Communications and the tools we use to get our message out and the message of God's love for the whole world might be different. But it's important that when we communicate to both those inside and outside the church, we should reflect what God says about us. An invitation to be welcomed in, to become part of and participate in the activity of loving the church and more importantly, the community that we are based in. I believe at the heart of church communication there are 4 M's. Message, market, media and moment. The message, number 1. What is it you want to say? How can you ensure that the hearer or the listener can get the essential information out of the message that you're trying to provide? Number 2, the market. Who are the people you're trying to speak to? What do you know about them? What are their worries and their concerns? What is going on in their life? Number 3, media. What are the media that these people are using? What platform are they engaged with? What kind of content do they require to access the information? Number 4, moment. Work backwards from your events. What is the right time to start advertising the event? And what is the message that you're going to broadcast? What is the right moment to reach these people? The 4 M's provide the basis for great church communication, making our communication easy to understand and helping them bridge the gap into your church communities. The aim of this session is really to help you think about how to create a digital strategy for the communities you're a part of. I want to offer 2 really simple things for you. The vision and the values of your church. The vision is a picture of a preferred future. The values are the foundations of why you do what you do. Communication isn't just about a tangible product, a nicely designed flyer and a matching social media post. It starts with the foundation of your church. So you really need to narrow down into your church's values and vision. Every time you communicate, you are communicating the vision and the values and the culture of your church or your organisation. Let's start by thinking about values. The values are the foundation of why you do what you do. Like the foundations of your house, you should not be able to see them. If you do, you've got problems, but they hold everything up. Everything stands on top of them. Nothing can be built without great foundations. John Wimber said this: a value is a belief system that assigns worth or importance to certain ideas, attitude, actions, things, and so on. Values are sometimes conscious and verbalised, but many times they are just below the surface, unconscious, and never spoken of. Values come before vision. Once the foundations are in place, then you can start to build them up. Take a second to think in your church, what are the values that your church has? What are the things that you really value in your church community? Vision. What is the vision? The vision is a picture of a preferred future. As we paint this picture, we invite our church or sections of our church on a journey of God's making. His vision is a plan for your church community. If the values are the foundation, then the vision is the blueprint or the drawings for this grand design. All our communication methods are constantly filtered through our vision to ensure that we stay on track with what God is calling us to as a church, and the language and the culture reinforce that. Have you written down your vision? Is it really clear? And can you join it up with your comprehensive digital strategy? Take time to write down your vision now. church culture. I know at times it doesn't feel like you can change the culture of your churches. Believe me, it takes an awful lot of time, an awful lot of effort, and loads of prayer, but I believe it is possible. And I believe communication is central to church culture. If we get our church communications wrong, or organisation, structure and communication wrong, we misrepresent or cause confusion for those who are trying to buy into it. Every time you communicate, you're asking people to take one more step into the adventure of God's making. And it is your church culture that dictates who will join the path. Your job as a communicator is to try and create order from chaos. Prayerful planning. The British Army have this saying, prior planning prevents poor performance. Prior planning prevents poor performance. And Proverbs 16:3 says, commit to the Lord whatever you do, and he will establish your plans. Prayer is at the centre of all we do. So please pray before you start. The next thing to do is get to know your church. I'm going to put up a diagram here to explain a little bit more about how you can get to know your church. The next thing to think about is your church calendar. Your church calendar is your best friend. It helps you understand the ebb and the flow of communication, the things that you want to plan into your digital strategy. Does your church run a summer holiday club? What do you do at Christmas and Easter and Harvest? Maybe it's that you get involved with a local community festival or fete or weekend. The key question is, how can you build these into your digital strategy and into your timetable? A digital strategy, if done well, involves bringing the church calendar together and working out how to communicate the things that your church does and the things that it gets up to. This session has been about helping you think about how to build a comprehensive digital strategy. A digital strategy that will help you speak of the visions and the values of your church. Please use this session to help you think through the fundamentals of your church or your organisation's culture, its values and its vision. Believe you me, it'll be worth it as we build yourself and your confidence and your knowledge base up through this course. See you next time.